Hi, folks. This week's adventure in Moggy Mews brings floating and sinking to the top of the menu.
Hey, I smell something fishy going on.
How fishy?
A whole tank of fishy, look.
Here we are, fish. Breakfast time. Lovely flaky bits of, ugh. Personally, I'd rather have a pizza, but it'd probably get a bit soggy down there.
Hello.
Hello.
What's this? I didn't know you were into pets.
These are not pets, Katie. These are my seafood specialities. Yes, from now on, Alf's Pizza Parlour will be selling fish as well as pizzas.
Very impressive, Alf.
Cool, he's a big chap. You going to do lobster and chips, then?
No, he's my prize lobster. I'm trying to fatten him up for a special occasion. But the trouble is, look, he's on the bottom, and his breakfast is on the top. I just can't get it to sink.
It's not supposed to. The fish come up and grab it.
Yeah, but Trev lives on the bottom there, so he'd never get a look in.
Well, try giving him something that will sink and a more lobsterish name, maybe.
Cornflakes. Here we are, Trev. Sorry, Mr. Lobster. Larry. Some lovely cornflakes. Well, no, you see, look, they're floating as well.
It's because the flakes are so light. They'd sink if they weighed more.
All right, what about this tin of beans? Not much to it, but it's got a bit of weight.
Alf!
How's he meant to get the tin open?
Well, he could use his claws, couldn't he?
No, you'll have to think of something else.
Poor little lobster hasn't had any breakfast.
Yes, and think of all those poor little fish stuck in that tank.
They're gonna need rescuing, right?
Right.
What do lobsters eat, anyway?
I don't know. But obviously things they can find down on the bottom of the seabed.
Oh, what, like shipwrecks?
Let's just stop and try to think
Excuse me?
of all the things we know that sink. A penny in a wishing well.
An anchor or a diving bell?
No, Alf.
What about a piece of cheese? A carrot or a tin of peas? Hey, this nice old brick should hit the bottom pretty quick.
No, Alf. What about the things that float? Great big ships and paper boats.
Plastic ducks and rubber rings. Lilos and water wings.
No, Alf. Anything that's filled with air will stay afloat without a care. If something like just stays on top, just add a weight and see it drop. No, Alf!
Catch eyes.
And as we leave thoughtless Alf to clean up his fish tanks, we set out to clean up the river.
The River Thames in London is one of Britain's busiest rivers. Every day, hundreds of boats and ships float up and down the river. Whether something floats or sinks is important here because lots of things fall into the river, which could be dangerous to boats. So how do they clean up all the floating rubbish?
This boat is the answer, the driftwood too. It plays a vital part in clearing the river of all the rubbish and wood which is floating along the river. What it does is it scoops up all the rubbish, takes it all in and clears the river for the other boats to pass through. We've got all sorts of rubbish in here, Kevin. What type of things do you normally get?
We get a lot of plastic bottles and glass bottles, lots of timber, pieces of tree, a lot of stuff that floats on the surface that we can pick up quite easily with the craft.
How much do you collect a day?
On average, a good day, we can collect a basket itself here, can hold at least 2 or 3 tonne of rubbish, and we can empty this basket at least 3 or 4 times a day.
That's a lot of rubbish, isn't it?
It is surprising where it all comes from.
It's terrible. What's the most unusual thing you've ever got?
Sometimes you might find the settee or a chair floating down the river, or a bed. No one in them, but...
things that people just throw out?
That just throw out, yeah, that's all.
It's terrible, they throw it in the river.
The stuff that floats is picked up by the barge, but it's the rubbish that sinks that is the real danger, so they have to check the bottom of the river as well.
Now, we've just come across a large object that has sunk, and it could be dangerous to other boats. So the only way to get it out of the water is to send a diver down into the murky depths. Rather him than me. Good luck. I wonder what it could be.
you read me? Over. Yeah, can you tell me whether you've located the obstruction? Yeah, I've located it. Roger.
Once the diver had found the sunken object, they had to lift it out on the end of a floating crane.
Oh, look, it's a barrel. Now, normally that floats, but it must have a hole in it, and that's why it's sunk.
In a river as big as the Thames, the stream of rubbish is never ending. It's good to know that the Port of London Authority are keeping a watchful eye on the floaters and sinkers to make sure the river is safe.
Meanwhile, back in Moggy Mews, we find a clean but strangely empty fish tank.
Oh, they slip down lovely. You can't beat fish straight from the tank.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a fish sandwich, one fish slapped between two other fish.
I could do with pudding. How about lobster pie?
Yeah, but he's down there, and we're up here. How are we going to get him out?
You don't fancy yourself as a diver, do you?
No, thank you. I know what cats do in water. They sink.
We need to find a way to make Larry Lobster float up to the surface. Any ideas, Jimmy?
Well, I've got one, Duke, but we'll need a bicycle pump.
A bicycle pump?
Trust me.
Cat's eyes.
When it comes to floating and sinking, fish are real experts. Some like to float in the open water. Others make themselves sink to the bottom where they hide in the sand. I've always wanted to dive to the bottom of the sea, but before I could do that, I had to learn the art of floating and sinking for myself. Diving in the swimming pool and going down just a little bit is easy if you practice. But if you want to dive deep, deep down into the sea, one of the things you need to know is how to sink. Cecilia, why is it so hard to sink? Most people think it's easy.
Well, it's hard to sink because naturally we float, and the more air we have in our lungs, the more we float. If you breathe in, you'll see how that makes you float, and if you breathe out, that helps you to sink. And when you go to the Red Sea, you're going to have a wetsuit, a little bit like this, which will protect you and keep you warm.
Right.
And this is very, very light.
A wetsuit is very light for its size, and it's a bit like wearing armbands. It makes you float on the surface all the time. So how could I possibly dive underwater?
You're going to have to wear these weight belts, which are very heavy, and these will help you to sink when you go diving in the Red Sea.
With my wetsuit on, my weight belt around my waist, and an air tank, I practiced underwater swimming in the pool before my big dive in the open sea. A few weeks later, I was floating on a boat on the beautiful Red Sea.
So I'll hold the weights while you...
Mike was preparing to take me to explore the secret world beneath the waves.
I'll turn your air on gently like this. Okay, how's that? Okay, very nice. The arms could be a little bit tighter maybe.
With our weight belts on, Mike and I sank to the bottom. By putting some air bubbles in my jacket, I was able to float just a bit. And when I let the bubbles out, I sank. I could control my floating and sinking. Now we're ready to go off and explore. found an old shipwreck and went in to take a closer look. This was once a metal ship floating on the sea. Now it lies on the seabed and is home for thousands of strange and wonderful creatures. Mike spotted something sticking out of the sand. When we cleared away the sand, we could see it was an old ship's window, so we decided to take it back to the surface. Mike had a trick. To make it float, we attached the metal object to a bag, then fill the bag with air bubbles from our air tank to make it rise to the surface. Just one of the many things waiting to be discovered in the wrecks of the Red Sea.
Oh, this is a brilliant idea, Duke. Plastic bag in the water, lobster crawls onto the bag, we pump the bag full of air and hooray, up she rises, hooray.
Lobster pud, here we come, eh, Jimmy?
You just save your breath and keep on pumping, my lad. Oh, quick, abandoned ship.
Larry, where are you? Daddy's home. Hello? Katie, come and have a look at this. This lobster's a genius.
What's he done? Beaten you in a game of snap?
Ha! No, he's made a lilo out of a plastic bag, look.
And I suppose he managed to attach it to a pipe and blow it full of air using a bicycle pump, which is way over here.
You're right, it does sound a bit fishy.
I think your geniuses are of the furry, four-footed variety.
Hamsters, you reckon?
No, Alf. Cats.
Oh, the cats were helping Larry to escape.
No, Alf. The cats were helping themselves to lunch. Talking of which, do you recognise this?
My seafood specialities. Where are those miserable moggies? Hey! Come out, wherever you are! Wait.
Do you ever get that sinking feeling?
Yeah, right in the bottom of my stomach. And I don't think it's fish.